What a terrible, terrible night to be Seth Rollins. Hello folks, shintigercurl here, that dude in the straw hat, bringing you yet another awesome video. It is Monday night. You know what that means? Time for some Raw. We are 1 week away from Money in the Bank, the match that will determine the event that will determine future WWE champions potentially. So, how does it go? First off, John Cena comes out and does his usual Cena spiel, talking about how he is ready to defeat Kevin Owens, the one-man manslaughter that he is, and ready to do his John Cena United States title open challenge. Kevin Owens comes out, full of piss and vinegar and hatred, and calls Cena out on his bullshit again. And Cena tries to call Kevin Owens out on his bullshit, but it's not really working because Kevin Owens doesn't give a fuck, and decides to hold his own NXT open challenge for his belt. Cena accepts and is like, whoa, wait a minute. We're going to fight on Sunday. Why would I fight you tonight? And Cena says, well, why? I'm going to open my open challenge right now. And Owens is like, well, let's give him a choice. Let's give him a choice between my awesome NXT world title and your Crackerjack box world title that you bought at the $5 store. Who answers the challenge? Neville, the man that gravity forgot. He says he wants to fight Cena someday again, but has some issues with Kevin Owens. And so we open to our first match, Kevin Owens versus Neville. For the first time ever, the NXT title defended on Raw. This was an awesome opening matchup. These two have faced off many times in both NXT and ROH, I believe. So it shows that they have a great chemistry. Cena was on commentary and he was just being a bit condescending towards Owens. I mean, he beat you clean, John. You ain't got a right to call a guy that he's an embarrassment or anything. Say what you want about Kevin Owens. You can't deny that he has done everything that he has set out to do in the WWE, and he's done it by himself. Clean. So anyway, of course, Owens picks up the win, invites Cena into the ring for a fight, and says, nope, fight Owens' fight is Sunday. Gotta wait, motherfucker. I might be going out of order. Please forgive me. Anyway, next up we have a Divas match. Yeah. And Paige, of course, like everyone else, was upset that the Bellas would resort to using twin magic, something that was not very well liked back when it was first introduced. Now, twin magic makes very little sense nowadays because we have been exposed to better female wrestling in the form of the NXT Women's Champion, Sasha Banks, and her contemporaries, Charlotte Flair, Bayley, Becky Lynch, and pretty much anyone else on that roster. They can give us amazing matches, especially Lynch versus Banks. If you haven't seen that yet, watch that shit. So anyway, we got this match, and we have they do twin magic. Now, I'm not saying the Bellas are terrible in the ring. They have gotten markedly better in the ring. They don't need twin magic. You were doing okay for yourself, Nikki, when you were just being Nikki Bella, champion. Now with this whole twin magic bullshit, it calls into question your legitimacy as champion, and once again, you fall back down. You were up here, but now you're back down here. But anyway, have a match between Nikki has a match with Summer Rae. It was an okay match. No interference, no shenanigans. Pretty okay. Still, I hope they step up their game. Next up, Roman Reigns comes out. And also, I should mention that all throughout the night, Dean Ambrose is on Bourbon Street, celebrating, partying with the title, just sending pictures of himself all around New Orleans. The titty master must be in heaven because there is no better place to see random titties than Bourbon Street. Trust me, I know. Anyway, Roman comes out and says that at first he hated the Money in the Bank contract because it was attached to Seth. Seth wasn't having that shit. So Kane comes out. It's revealed that Kane is in this match too. and pretty much brings out a cavalcade of all the other competitors for this match. That also, the very funny thing happened when R-Truth comes out, and he's talking about what he's going to do in the ladder match. Then Kane says, "The hell are you doing here, Truth?" "I'm explaining what I'm going to do in the ladder match." "You're not in the ladder match, you idiot." "I'm not?" "No!" "Really?" "No!" My bad. Honestly, that was one of the most hilarious things I've ever seen in my life. I'm not even gonna lie, that made me chuckle. Because the Truth is better when he's just being 5 sheets to the wind crazy. And even Dolph Ziggler, who was in the ring with Roman Reigns and Reigns himself, were chuckling at this. And I could see that Kane was having a bit of an issue trying to keep a straight face during it all, but it was a fun little segment. But they kept coming out, and so we segue into a series of matches where everyone will be fighting against everyone except for Kane. Well, including Kane anyway. So our first match of this brand, we're going to have a rematch from SmackDown. Sheamus versus Randy Orton. This was a pretty damn good match. Sheamus and Randy Orton always have excellent chemistry together. It was a nice back and forth matchup. I knew it was going to end FUBAR because the last match they had on SmackDown ended FUBAR. So it had Randy Orton beating the crap out of Sheamus and RKOing him in the middle of the ring. There's that. Our next match pitted Kane versus Dolph Ziggler. This was a so-so match. Not to say that the two were terrible, it was just there. Lana was there, looking ravishing as always, until Rusev comes out, begging her to take him back, and she falls off the stage and messes up her ankle. Dolph is naturally distracted by this, and it costs him the match. He goes to help Lana, and there's, of course, drama there. Backstage, Seth is talking about how, well, I don't need J&J security and Kane to help me, but maybe the Authority can help me? Admiral and Sexy Power aren't having that kind of shit, and they're like, "Hey, you're the one who told us you didn't need our help, so for once, we're going to let you pick your opponent, but we're not going to interfere at all." So, while all backstage, J&J security come up to Seth and say that they forgive him for saying they don't need him. And he goes off on them saying that they're pretty much nothing without him. And so he decides to pick his opponent, which would be J&J security. Jamie Noble goes off. And then for the first time in a long time, Joey Mercury speaks. Silent J actually speaks. Shit has gotten real. So that's our main event. J&J security versus Seth Rollins. Let's see. I'm trying to remember. They also do some things where they show the final 40 finalists for Tough Enough. I couldn't tell you who any of them were, but we'll find out when Tough Enough premieres later this summer. Anyway, let's see. Next up, we have Big E representing the Douche Day versus Titus O'Neil of the Primetime Players in a warm-up for their tag title match this Sunday. Nice little big man versus big man match. Titus O'Neil looked unstoppable tonight. But yeah, Big E picks up the win thanks to the interference. And then we segue immediately into Roman Reigns versus Kofi Kingston. Now, I know I've been a harsh critic of Roman Reigns before, but excuse me, this time I actually like it. This is what happens when you put Roman Reigns in a match that doesn't involve Kane or the Big Show. He actually gets to show off what he can do, and he's shown himself to be very athletic and very, very tough. This was a very, very good matchup. Surprising, and it's just very good. This is probably my favorite Roman Reigns match to date, outside of Reigns versus Daniel Bryan at Fastlane a few months ago. This is a very good matchup. It made Roman look very, very strong, joke intended, and he picks up the win. Let's see. Well, I'm getting ahead of myself. We also have a tag team match before this. Luke Harper and Eric Rowan now back together versus Los Matadores. They get destroyed completely, and Los Matadores actually, Eric Harper and Rowan actually use the 3D. They call it the last day, but that's the 3D. Even the fans knew that. So maybe Harper and Rowan versus the Dudleys. I can get behind that. But anyway, after that Reigns Kofi match, we have the main event. And before that happens, Dean Ambrose comes out, popcorn and a big sack of popcorn and drinks in hand, gets a seat from Roman Reigns, and he sits down front row center for the main event. Seth Rollins versus J&J Security with Kane in their corner. Surprisingly, this was a very close matchup. People seem to forget that Joey Mercury and Jamie Noble used to be great wrestlers. They still are. They're fantastic wrestlers, in fact. Joey Mercury was one half of M&M, like a 3-time tag champion, and Joey Mercury is a multi-time cruiserweight champion, and I think a tag champion as well. So this was a great match. They were fighting for everything they had, and there was a few technical matches here and there. It's just a very, very good matchup. The end comes when it looks like J&J are about to get pedigreed in the ring. Well, Joey's about to get pedigreed in the ring when when Dean jumps the barricade, distracts and throws the belt in the ring. Seth, being Seth, picks up the belt, gets rolled up by Joey, and 1, 2, 3, J&J Security just beat the World Heavyweight Champion. Yeah, I like this. I just did. I'm cheesing, as you can see. Yeah. But yeah, Seth is celebrating the fact he got his belt back, but never turning back on the Titty Master. Hits Dirty D's on him and takes the belt back and stands on top of a ladder. And that is Raw. My thoughts? This was a pretty good show. We had some solid matches. We had some good build-up for all the matches that we care about, like the Money in the Bank ladder match, as well as the World Title ladder match, and of course the rematch that everyone's waiting for, Owens versus Cena at Money in the Bank. So it's gonna be a good one. It's gonna be a good pay-per-view. WWE's been on a stroll with a lot of solid pay-per-views. Some have been good, some have been great. Could they keep it up? I mean, doing these pay-per-views every 2 weeks, it can seem a little stressful, but it seems they're handling it. I'm not saying I want to see a pay-per-view every 2 weeks, but this was a nice little thing just to switch things up. Yeah, I like it. So anyway, that's my video. Like what you see? Link, comment, subscribe below. Got any questions, comments, or just want to show some love? Leave them below. I'll get back to you. And also, if you want to support the channel, just click on an advertisement or two. It takes a second out of your day. Or donate directly for the tip jar. I could use a taco. And I will also say this. Because I've made like 76 followers, I'm going to do something nice for you guys. For everyone who comments on my video, I will go to your YouTube page and I will click on advertisements for at least 10 of your videos if you have that many. Because this is a hard thing to do. They make it look easy, but it's a hard thing to attract an audience and get the views you need to make some money. So I figured, what the hell? You guys, you 76 followers of mine have been supporting me all this way. You know who you are. I promise, for every comment, if you comment below on this video, I will click on your profile. I will go through your videos. If I see ads, I'm going to click on them. Because you deserve just a little bit of admiration for what you do. Because a lot of my subscribers don't have many subscribers. I'm going to give back to them as well. So, leave a comment. You get some clicks. I swear. So, until next time, this is shintigercurl, that dude in the straw hat, saying good night. And the light of the day has cast away the pain of Seth Rollins.